Hello out there in Facebook land, and welcome to another edition of Live with Ms. KIR, capital K, capital I, capital R, which stands for Keeping It Real. Thank you all for taking the time out on this Friday night to show love because you could be doing other things. So I want to thank you for that. Tonight's guest we have in the building, spoken word artist, poet, Rosalia. Show your love out there, Facebook. Snap it up, clap, snap it up, snap it up.
Hello,
Um,
everyone.
my co-host will be joining us shortly. Poessence Spoken Word. Show your love for her. Snap it up. If you're going to watch this later, put hashtag replay in the comments and like, heart, share, and like, heart, and share because sharing is caring and caring is sharing. So you can also share this podcast now. I'd appreciate it. Shout outs to, of course, my co-host, Poessence Spoken Word. Shout out to my guest, Rosalia. Shout outs to my mom, Barbara Marie, who usually tunes in. Shout outs to Teresa Hazel Eyes. She watches weekly. Shout out to my small business network peeps. Commissioner Dr. James McConnell, Sean A. White, Latanya Davis, Floyd, and also little Trini Davis Floyd. Also, shout outs to Gladys Bryce, Cassandra Pickett, and a host of other people. And I also want to give a shout out to my mentor, Deborah Cheney, because if it was not for her, there would be no writer's block. So shout out to her and to all you out there in Facebook land, YouTube land, whatever land that you're watching. Shout outs. Love, 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 love. We're going to be breezy. So, everybody, get your tea, tilt your hats to the side, burn some incense, put your glasses on, tilt them like so, and be breezy with us tonight because we're going to be breezy on this Friday night in December. So, now, without further ado, welcome once again, spoken word artist, poet, Rosalia. Come on, clap it up. Woo! Clap it up out there. Show your love. Show your love. Show your love. Show your love. I need some hearts and some likes. Hit that heart like button. Okay. So, Rosalia, tell the folks out there in YouTube land, Facebook land, who you are in my Mufasa from the Lion King voice.
Wow, that's a loaded question. Who I am.
Yes.
Hmm. I would like to think a pretty low key, talented, blessed woman from the Lower East Side of Manhattan.
Right on.
Um, just making my way through life, through the world, through the lens of a poet, which is pretty, I would like to say it's hard, but it's also, I wouldn't trade it for anything because poets feel everything. Like
Yeah.
we be in our feelings.
Yes.
And sometimes that's a hard thing to do. Some people numb their feelings because it's such a heavy burden to handle. So I like to say I do well at feeling my feelings and navigating that realm, which is probably what spills into my poetry and makes me so passionate about my poetry. So I'm a
Okay.
poet and I know
Yeah.
it.
Okay. And you answered the question I was about to ask. So,
Okay.
okay. We're going to go for the next question. What is your style of poetry?
Ooh, I'm glad you asked. When I was younger, I got exposed to a writer called E. Cummings, and E. Cummings writes in like a nonsensical fashion. Like he will make a sentence, and the top of the his poem is the beginning of the sentence, and the end of the poem is the end of this sentence. So I like to, more so than rhyming, I like to paint a picture. So I would like to say that I'm like a illustrative poet.
Oh, okay. I like that. An illustrative poet. I can dig that. Yes. Welcome, Donna Banks. She has entered the building. She has been a viewer for a few weeks now. Show your love out there for audience member Donna Banks. Hey, Donna. Thanks for tuning in again. Okay, Rosalia, got another question for you. Um, have you read your poetry anywhere um throughout where you reside? What venues have you read your poetry?
I was so blessed to actually grace the stage of the New Yorkers Poets Cafe, which is now mostly based online, but I got to be on the stage, so that's my brag.
Okay.
But most recently I was in Puerto Rico, and I
Hmm.
found a poetry cafe in Puerto Rico, so I had to run there. And they did open mics, I believe it was every Tuesday. So I was there every Tuesday that from my vacation.
Oh, nice. Okay. Hey, hey. Poesis, do you have any questions for
I
Rosalia?
do, I do, I do. I'm sorry. I know it's a little bit dark over here. I'm trying to get my lighting together. Forgive thy. Um, actually, let me get this together. But yes, my question is: you said you had the opportunity of being on the New Eurekan stage. How was that? How was that experience?
It was very nerve-wracking. Because you hear of like the greats that have been on the stage, so you can mess up. Like all the nerves were felt that day, but I feel like it's an accomplishment. So I'm happy to say that I was able to do it. It felt nerve wracking, but it's definitely something that I could take with me as a memory.
Absolutely. I'm a little jealous.
Mm.
I'm just gonna tell you, I am a little jealous.
Right.
Okay? I am a little jealous. I'm a little bit. I'm still like you, but I'm a little bit of jealous.
That's wow, that's awesome. Snap it up, folks, for Rosalia.
Yes.
Yes,
That is a huge accomplishment. I just want you to know that. That is a
indeed.
huge accomplishment.
It is. Indeed. Poesis, do you have another question for Rosalia?
So okay, so we'll stay with that avenue. What poem did you perform there? Do you remember?
Now you're taking me back. I can't say I remember what poem it was, but it was definitely a poem that I put in my book, my first book.
Okay.
Um Princess from a Broken Home. La Princesa de la Casa Rota is what it's called. So I have an archive of poems that I put together during that time where the New Yorkers Poets Cafe was thriving and, hosting people. So it would probably be one of the poems in my book.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Snap it up, folks. Snap
Yes,
it
yes,
up.
yes.
Yes. Rosalia is doing big things. She's
Yes,
about to
she
blow
is.
And
up.
so are you. Look at this. This podcast is a
Okay.
blessing.
Yes, it is. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Okay, Rosalia, can you do one of your poems for us?
I would love to. Now my nerves are still gonna be there
Okay.
because I haven't I haven't been practicing as I should. I hit the open mic in Puerto Rico and I was rusty and I realized it and I was like, oh, I gotta do some more. I gotta get back out there. So I'm grateful for this opportunity.
Drum roll for Rosalia. Come on. Where's the drums in the comments?
Okay. So the first poem I'm going to share is called I Would Have Named You Ocean. And it goes like this. I would have named you Ocean to follow in the magic of your sister Yemaya. Ocean like Oshun, the goddess that is remembered before us red-blooded women speak our first word and charmed in our smiles from birth. Goddess of abundance and love and heritage and culture. That's how the world would have to call you, invoking the power of love itself every time. I would have named you Ocean, like I knew you'd be a little girl. Like I knew before I could realize your father only made you to make fun of me that you'd be his karma bundled in the most lavish rage with no sympathy. But I couldn't bring myself to break another heart, make another baby with a father wound bigger than my own, a crib made out of shattered picture frame glass, too fragile to withstand another rolling stone. I would have brought you home into a place where no man was present to protect or provide. And you'd have learned how lonely it truly is to have your mother be your everything when all you really needed was her time. Time that I would have to monetize into baby food, clothing, and our way of life. A sacrifice that you may have never asked for, if you had a say. I thought about it for the few days that it took to do the right thing, and for each day I waited, wishing things were different. You grew a little bigger than indifference. And so I didn't name you just in time to memorialize all the ways I made peace with creating irresponsibly, so that when you finally arrived, you'd understand. I may have named you late, but I would never call you into pain.
Strong J. Strong J. Yes. Where are the hearts and the snaps for this? Come on, folks. Come on. Yes. Woo, yes. Show your love out there for Rosalia. Okay? Show your love out there for the poets. The poets. The poets. Speaking of poets, Hood Raised Poet was supposed to be on. Hood Raised Poet, where you at? Looking for you, man. Anyway, Poessence, do you have another question for Rosalia?
I do. That poem was so beautiful.
It was.
That was so beautiful. Like it inspired me. Like if I were going to try to rewrite a poem from my daughter like that's it. Like I wouldn't need to. Like you said everything. You said everything. But for those that don't know, what inspired that poem?
Ooh, thank you for that question.
Good question,
Um,
Poessence.
that poem, something very sad. I was going through a separation with my 10-year long partner. And at the very end, I got pregnant and everything was already falling apart and we went our separate ways. And I was waiting to have a conversation with her father, with my child's father, about, what was going to be done. What are we going to do? Do we keep the baby? Do we co-parent? And I was ghosted. So
Oh.
I pulled from that pain because I felt guilty because all I wanted was to bring life into the world, but I didn't think that I'd be ending a relationship and, just I didn't want to kind of make my daughter have to feel, or make my child too, because I don't know if it was a girl or not, but I didn't want to make my child have to feel the pain that I felt during my first pregnancy, or, the experiences my daughter had with, having to deal with a separated home. So I kind of made the decision to end the pregnancy. And I had a lot of guilt that I was dealing with during that time.
Mm. Wow. That was very profound. Very profound. I'm going to go to the comments.
Absolutely.
We have Gladys Bryce in the building. Show your love for Gladys Bryce from Small Business Network. We also have Latanya Davis in the building from Small Business Network. And again, my peeps, Donna Banks. Let's see, Donna said, hello, everyone. Drum roll. Gladys said, hello, Mz.KIR, Poessence, and Rosalia.
Hello
Latanya
there.
Davis said, hello, Trinity and I are here. Donna Banks did the snaps. Gladys Bryce said, I'm back over here multitasking. And she's going to hang out with us for a bit. And Michael Connor, aka North Philly's finest, is in the building. And that is it for the comments right now. So we're gonna go on to another question. Are you guys out there in Facebook land having a good time? Are you feeling breezy with us? Are you feeling the
Yes, yes,
vibes? Are you feeling the
yes.
vibes?
Yes, yes. Can you let me in? I transferred from my phone to my computer, so it'll be a little bit better.
Oh, um, it doesn't have you on here for that. Uh, yeah, usually it would say add to the stage, but it doesn't have that.
Yeah, it's not coming up. Oh my goodness.
No, it's not.
No. Okay.
Hmm.
So your next question was, while I
Oh,
navigate this craziness.
okay. Um, my next question. How have you grown as a poet?
Good question. Sometimes, to be honest with you, sometimes I'll read old poems and I'll love them just like I love like a poem that I just wrote. So I feel like
Mm,
my experiences have become many, but like what I put into the work is still like aggressive. It still has that fire. So I would say I'm wiser, and that's important. Because
yes.
sometimes sometimes when you're a young poet you say just anything, and I think that's what
Mhm.
my original style used to be like I would just say things to get a reaction out of people, but now I'm more so tactful. I want to say, and wiser with
Oh,
my poetry.
okay.
Okay. That is incredible that you are able to that you are still moved and inspired.
There you are, Poessence.
There we
Oh.
go.
Oh,
Yeah, had to cut that off real quick. That is very impressive. Like, I'm moved by the fact that you can look at your old work and still be as inspired and find the understanding, and then also see the growth, because as a fellow poet, like, there are some things that I wrote when I started and I was like, I have no idea where I was. Um I don't know what I was going through in that moment. And I'm thankful because, like, most times when you do read something that inspires you, it takes you back to that place. Um,
mhm.
but it's not often that as a poet you're able to go back and read some of the poems that you started in the beginning and still find that depth and that understanding. So with that statement, what is one of the poems that you have been able to look back at and still get that same depth and understanding?
Ooh, good question, Poessence.
Yes, very good question. Mhm. I would probably say the poem that is called Princess from a Broken Home, but it inspired the book.
Okay.
So that poem, I could still go back and read it and like get into it and feel like at home in my style of writing.
Okay. 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 Hmm.
Yeah,
Definitely gonna have to, I'm gonna have to go back and look at that again, because it definitely took me to a place I can definitely resonate with that poem and the feelings behind that poem, um,
yeah,
and get a better understanding of you as well as what you went through, and seeing the opposite side. So yeah.
absolutely. Yes. I know that when I look back at some of my poems and I go, whoo, mm, what triggered that? Because some of them, I'd be like, oh, like, wow, like, wow.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that, like, so there is a trick that I do. I can't tell you specifically because I don't want everybody taking it. But there's a trick that I do. So it's normally I have two different versions of the same poem.
Mm.
So in having two different versions of the same poem, depending on which poem I ran into, depends on whether or not I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no, we will not go back there, or the other version that's like, oh, we should probably just delete that one because it this is they gonna commit you because this don't make no sense. It's really sad, but I definitely get that. Once I'm able to actually put my own book together, clearly the trick will be out. But but in understanding, and I probably will too add some of those poems that are like, and most likely people will not pick up on it because if you depending on how it's read, it reads differently and it resonates differently.
Mhm.
So it's yeah, both of those. Even though I'm a little embarrassed at some of those poems, I definitely probably would add that to a book. Just don't commit me. Don't rally together.
We will not rally together. It's all love. It's all love. Okay, Rosalia, can you do another poem for us?
I can.
Drum roll again for Rosalia, folks. Or as North Philly finest would say, drum roll, please. Where's the drums at in the comments, folks? Where are the drums at in the comments?
This poem is called Strands. For my grandmother, who 2 tumors later understood the evils of taming with relaxers what God made to be wild. For the wonderfully awkward little child trying to rescue the beauty stuck behind the mirror when she smiles. Water, wide tooth, and rat tail comb in hand, she goes to battle with the generational curses full of lies that are entangled in her strands. For each indifferent little coil that peeped through a fresh silk press on a hot or humid day, for the way the natural rhythm of my hair causes water droplets to dance and sway. For 3,4B and 3,4C, each of the 4 curl patterns growing from my scalp simultaneously. without order or reason, just because I'm me. I put an end to the trend of finding fault in the creator's design, frying, dyeing, perming, gelling, so called growth oil drowning, flat ironing, and lace melting. An end to the beauty industry creating insecurities just to sell me illusions of what normal should be. Literal solutions full of chemicals made to deactivate my alchemy. I use castor, nettle, hemp, and oil from the tea tree, beeswax and coconut, cocoa, butter, hemp, and jojoba, and wear my healthy hair however I feel like wearing it.
Strong J. Strong J. Woo, child. Snap it up, folks. Where are the finger snaps out there? Okay, snap it up. Yes, Rosalia. Yes, girl. Yes. Okay. Whoo. I
Mm,
felt the theme through my device on that one. Okay.
right.
Whoo. Yes. Come on, folks. Finger snap out there.
That is
Finger
that
snap in
that
the
is
comments. Okay. Yes.
I am super inspired. Like that is something that I needed to hear back when I was trying to perm my hair at 13. Okay. Okay, that was something that I needed to hear in my 20s when I was doing the slick back ponytail,
Right.
okay, and hurting my scalp trying to be cute. Just,
Okay.
and in this age, in my seasoned age, I can appreciate that type of poem even more because they say, when as you become seasoned in age, you often you go natural, right? Because you
Mhm.
understand the importance of it, and how to have healthy hair. But
Yeah.
it's usually after we done put our hair through so much damage and
Right.
we really have no choice. So we kind of got to look in the mirror and be like, it's okay, I'm still cute. It's okay. My
Right.
forehead, I'm gonna adjust to this. It's all right. I had it all my life, but now I can see it, right? It's there. Like okay, the world will love you still. Um, but even in that, whether it's long, whether it's short, like that is it's so inspiring. Like I'm definitely gonna have to get the book. I'm definitely gonna have to get the book because that's a poem that I want to read to my daughter.
Yeah.
Um, because I
Get the
teach
book,
her
folks.
so
Get the
much.
book.
I teach her so much about loving her natural, curly, beautiful hair. And that is just something, another step into her understanding that regardless of whether it's 4C, the whole nine, whether it's curly, straight, embrace it because it's the natural. The natural is so much more beautiful.
Indeed. Indeed it is. Yes.
Yes, 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 yes.
Show your love, folks, again one more time for that poem from Rosalia. Yes.
Mhm.
You just up here killing it. Like I'm
Right?
super inspired. I need to, and
Okay.
I didn't even prepare properly because normally I have my little notepad right here and I'm like, and I was like, nope, tonight we just gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And now I'm like, I need my notepad. I need that. Next time I will be prepared. Mhm.
Handy dandy notebook.
Yes, yes, yes. You know what? I'm gonna get my note card. That's what it is. My little tick.
See, there it is. So my Nas voice. There it is.
There it is. I'm about to start jotting down some notes.
Right, right.
So, redo on the question. What inspired you to write that one?
Um, I was I was thinking about the lie that we're told that we can't grow our hair.
Mm.
I had a coworker one time say something slick out her mouth. And she's like,
Always them
Mm-mm.
coworkers. Always them coworkers.
right?
Always. Who?
She's like, the girls that can't grow hair like you. And I'm like,
Mm-mm.
Don't
Mm-mm.
you listen? We about to have to. I have put down my fisticuffs. But where was that at again? I might have to roll up real quick.
Okay.
We can speak on
Disrespectful.
that after the
Right.
show.
Okay, okay, okay.
Mm,
Yeah, so and I was thinking like the reason why there's so much trouble with hair growth is not because of genetics. It's all these chemicals that they sell. It's,
mm,
the uncomfortableness of just washing it and letting it, be basically everything they tell you not to do, you should be doing for your hair. Letting it breathe, wearing it curly, letting it, you can straighten it, blow dry it out, every once in a while to extend it. But
Yes.
I felt like I had to prove her wrong. I was like, we can't grow what? What? I'm growing my hair now. I was like, we gonna see who can't grow hair. And I started getting more natural things like jojoba and castor and neem and things that actually nourish your hair. And I wanted to celebrate that. Like, you don't gotta go for, all the Brielle and all, I'm sorry to mention names, but we don't have to go and purchase all these things that they're throwing at us if we want to be
right.
natural. There's herbs, there's oils, there's things we could put together ourselves that'll serve us better.
Right.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that um that is a conversation that I've had with my sister group as well, and understanding where I despise the whole good hair, bad hair ideology.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous how much we have, that the generations have passed that down, so that even when you're doing, you're wearing your natural hair, it's like, you all right? They got some yaki over there, they got some, they got the wavy, just all kind of human hair and the laces.
Yeah.
When you decide to just be natural, it comes with the stigmatism that you're going through something, you're struggling,
Mhm.
you know
Or it's
and it's
not
like,
Mhm.
no.
done.
Exactly. Yes. Yes, that is not done. And it's like, no, it is done. It's just like, with, as far as like people on their lock journey, and how they're like, oh no, you got dreadlocks. And it's like, that's not what they're called. That's not really
Right.
what that is. That's a different terminology, you know, taken on by other cultures, because again, your hair looks like it's unkept, it's undone. Like, no, this is a whole style. I'm gonna need you to rock with this. This is me. This is me embracing myself, embracing my ancestors, embracing my journey, and being okay with that.
That's right. Say that again, Poessence, for the people all the way in the nosebleed balcony section. Yes.
Right. Just, you gotta, we gotta have a better understanding of our natural hair, and the culture of our natural hair. We hear so much about how our ancestors used, the lines and the patterns in the hair to guide us in on the journey of escaping slavery,
Mhm.
you know
Mhm.
and then it's like, now here we go. If you're not straightening your hair, if your hair not straight, then it's not done. If it's kinky and or curly, preferably, it's nappy.
Mhm.
It needs to be straight. But in all aspects, when you are wearing your natural hair, that is you embracing yourself and embracing your ancestors, embracing your journey, and learning to be comfortable in the skin and the hair that you are in, and standing strong on that. And
Yes.
I say that because that was something clearly that I needed to hear myself, because it took me a minute.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that poem, Rosalia. Yes. Yes, girl. Yes. So my question for you, Rosalia, um, what, excuse me, who are your top five favorite poets, past and present?
Okay. My top.
Top five, past and present.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna okay. I'm gonna go with Nikki Giovanni
Yes,
because I love her. Rest in peace.
yes.
Um, Gil Scott Heron
Hmm.
right behind her.
Okay.
Um, hmm, what was her name? I'm gonna go back to that one because I can't remember her name.
Okay.
Um, E. Cummings would be on that list.
Mhm.
Um, so that's three so far.
Yep.
I can't believe I can't remember the sister's name. I'll have to go back. Okay, so that's three. One more.
Well, two more actually.
I know I have that one in my head and it's gonna come to me. So I'm just waiting for it
Okay.
to seep into my brain. Um I'll put Tupac on there.
Tupac.
Put Tupac on there.
Yes.
I definitely love his softer side, his the way he paints pictures.
Yes.
Um and I'll give it to Sonia Sanchez.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Miss
Poetic.
Kirby giving you the hard questions. Don't be asking me these hard questions and you want me to come off the top of my head right now. I knew it was coming. Like, these hard questions. That's hard questions. Oh, let me remember my top five. Maya Angelou, um, Sonia Sanchez. Oh my goodness. Mm, 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 mm. Now I can't think of none. Like,
That's how it happens. It just
Yeah.
leaves.
just threw me all the way off because I'm like, who was it? I don't remember. Um, mm. Give me 1 second because they're gonna come together. They're gonna come together.
Okay. We're gonna go to the
Mm,
comments while you're thinking.
yes, please, because I need a brief intermission right now with this question.
Okay. In the comments we have okay, Gladys said she will check us out later or tomorrow. Her computer is passing out. Teresa, oh, Donna Banks did the clapping emoji. Teresa Hazel Eyes has entered the building. She says, "Oh no, I'm late. Hey, everyone. It's okay, Teresa. Better late than never to the party, okay?" And that's it for the comments so far. And anybody out there in Facebook land, do you have any questions for Rosalia while Poessence is thinking about her top five?
So okay, so I'm come back. Langston Hughes.
Okay.
Um, I said Maya Angelou.
Mm-hmm.
Nikki Giovanni.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's it. No, wait, I'm missing one. Um, oh my goodness, what is her name? Um, Dagnabbit. What? Oh my goodness. Listen, Jill Scott, okay?
Yes, Jill Scott. Yeah, yes. Oh, Poessence. Donna Banks said, "Can we hear a poem from you?"
Oh my goodness. Where did that come from? Oh my goodness. I wasn't expecting that one. That what would she like to hear?
Donna, what would you like to hear? What would you like to hear from Poessence? Let us know.
Yes.
She said, your favorite poem.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Hmm. Do.
She got to go to the archives and dig in her crates, folks.
Yes, yes, because where? Okay. Um mm, let me see. Do. Oh my goodness. Well, y'all keep talking. I'm going through the crates here.
Okay, well, while Poessence is going through the crates, let's see. Oh yeah, I want to say happy birthday to all the December babies, all those born in December, and shout out to my firstborn T Noodle, whose birthday was last week, I believe. She turned a big 25, and shout out to Jennifer McKiernan. She also had a birthday. And shout out to all the December Sagittarius. Oh yeah, Eli DMC. He had a birthday December as well. And I'm representing my DMX tonight. Y'all see my shirt, dog. Okay, rest in peace. Birthday shout out to the dog for life. And while we're waiting for Poessence to dig in the crates, Rosalia, what is a fun fact about you? I'm getting in my Topher vibes. My Topher.
Fun fact. Okay, so I look loud, but I'm really shy in real life.
Hey, I dig that. Yes. Okay. Are you ready, Poessence? Or are you still digging in the crates?
I am. I am. I got a little short little short piece. This is something that was inspired a couple months ago. What does poetry mean to me? Um and it's something that goes a little something like this.
Drum roll,
Um
folks. Drums in the comments. Drums in the comments.
I am at peace when I write. Thoughts unspoken, giving birth to a poem that grows in a melody. Flourished into notes when words become ink etched images tracing the pen's tremor. I write vibrations and relaxation, finding the start of healing, allowing time most for solutions, working through. Where I am able to find safety when I write, I am renewed, restored. Again, I rise like a phoenix. I release at peace. I am when I write. My calmest when lines hit words and alternate endings create beginnings. I am relaxed.
Yes. Where's the finger snaps? Where's the finger snaps, folks? Show your love for Poessence Spoken Word, folks.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you, thank you.
Yes. Woo, Poessence. Okay. Yes. Rosalia, back to you, ma'am. Um, let's see. What is it that you love about poetry?
What I love about poetry the most is that it's challenging. Um, you can go back and read something, make it better. You could go back and read something and understand it a whole different way than, when you first wrote it and see deeper into it. So, to me, it's the way that I sharpen myself. It's the way that I check my emotions. It's the way that I heal.
Mm,
So I would say it's definitely a sharpening tool.
yes.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. I totally agree with that one. It's hard sometimes, but I totally agree with that one. I definitely myself will go back and look at some of my work, and I'm inspired. I will tell you from the door, I don't title anything. Okay. Do not let the title of that poem fool you, because a lot of my work is untitled, and my sister circle is over me and my husband, because I'll be quick to be like, what should I call this? And they're looking at me like, you wrote it. I did the hard part. All I did was ask you to write the title. That's it. That's all I needed. So being able to go back and even searching for the title within a poem lets me like go on a journey. It's taking that journey, whether it's good or bad, and understanding even in those moments where you wrote something in the midst of anger, or the midst of trauma, and you can go back and you're like, I'm here, but I'm standing, I'm in a different position when I'm in that poem, when I'm reading that poem. And it's the realization that I am not there anymore. It's the healed version of you looking at the trauma, the traumatized version of you, and just kind of like holding that inner child, that inner teenager, that inner woman that's just like, we did it. We were going through, but we did it. Thank you. Like, both of us needed that hug. And that's like, to me, what going back and looking over your poetry again is just like, it's like the deliverance.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree. 100%. Yes. And we're going to go back to the comments. We've got the drum rolls, we've got the snaps. And Teresa Hazel has also said the best poems come from untitled, from being untitled. Yes, because I have a few untitled poems. Yes, I definitely agree. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, I need a title. Somebody give me a title, please. Somebody, anybody, Jodeci, I need a title. So, yeah, absolutely correct, Teresa.
I appreciate that support, Teresa. I just want you to know I do. Because my book is going to have a beautiful name to it, but it's just going to have a bunch of untitled poems. And you just going to be, I think I might even put an excerpt to where you be like, poem suggestions.
Ooh, I like that. Poem suggestions. Interesting. Very
Yes.
interesting. Ooh.
That's what you could call it. You can't claim it. But you, hey, I heard this poem. I call it Days. Like, but that's not really what it is. Just, I ain't got no rights to the poem, but that's the title of it. That's what I call it.
Okay. I can dig that. Interesting. Hmm. Very interesting. So, Poessence, you have any other questions for our fantastic guest tonight?
Yes, I do. When you write, what is the best element for you? Like, what does your environment look like when you're ready to create?
Ooh, that
Mm,
was a good one.
I would say sometimes chaos. Like, I need everything to be busy and noisy around me, and then I just cocoon. And other times I'll go like to a park and sit in my car and, put some light music on and vibe, and then, just let all of my emotions out. So it kind of depends on what I'm releasing. If I'm in my mind and I'm masterminding something, I like to be around chaos and noise. If I'm in my feelings, I like to be away, where there's quiet and zen.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Sometimes I like to be in like a quiet space to get my thoughts together. So yes, I can relate. I can relate.
Yeah. Now, me, now it depends. It very much like you, Rosalia. Like I'm like, if it's chaos and something the quiet is inside me, and that's just how it's happening. You could talk to me. Again, my husband, my sister circle, they are prone to understand that if we are on the phone and I get quiet, that is just your cue to keep talking. I hear you. That was interesting. I'm not ignoring you. How did that make you feel? While you know what? She's writing again. This is what it is. It took my husband a minute because he was just like you on the phone, but you're not talking. Like they just was talking for like 45 minutes and you ain't said nothing. On the other end of the phone, all you hear is my writing partner, Blue Fox. Like she's writing. I know. Just give her a minute. Give her a minute. I know when she done, this is what's going to happen. Okay, but I can write in the middle of chaos if that is what's going on in and the thought hits me. Something inspires me to write. Other than that, music, and it's depending on the melody. Sometimes I'm R&B, 80s, 90s, the whole 2000 music. I could put on something like that and I'm there, I'm in the moment. And oftentimes I've been asked, like, when you're listening to, Jill Scott, Erica Badu, like, do you find yourself writing like a line or a verse from their song? Never. Like I'm there, I hear it, but I'm so zoned out. And I could be listening to Jill Scott and Erica Badu and I'm angry. And the poems sound like, again, something that I probably should never let hit anybody's pages. And it would cause people to question me. But even in the sense of that, um, it's a beautiful creation altogether. It's definitely a better way to, not go to jail because you wrote it
Right.
on paper.
Safer
It
on
saves
paper.
lives. It saves
Yeah.
lives.
I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go back to the comments. Let's see. Teresa Hazel said, and with what Rosalia said, the resharpening yourself, a lot of poets do this. I know I do. Maurice Huff has entered the building. Welcome, Maurice. Maurice was a guest back in October with my cousin, Scott Jacob. So Maurice has entered the building. He said, hey, hey, sorry, I'm late. It's okay. Better late than never to the party, Maurice. Better late than never to the party. We being breezy over here. Teresa also said, yeah, being in the zone to let the poetry flow. And she said, I thought that was a fire alarm. I thought so too, Teresa. And
Oh,
those
it was my candle was having a moment. It didn't like the zone that I was in. It was like, nope.
are,
But it's okay.
oh, okay. Rosalia, can you do another poem for us, please?
I would love to. This one is a little scandalous. No cursing,
Okay.
but it's from my Delulu era. So
You never supposed to openly admit that you had that one. Shh.
yes, this is my Delulu collection.
Drum roll, folks. Drums are coming.
This is called Prison Wife's Guide to Keeping It All Together While Falling Apart.
Ooh.
If appreciation could stand the test of time, I would say go through with it. If expectations didn't lie to dreams at night and plan their escape way before a release date, if there was a chance that love had a good memory and you were not just a glorified pen pal providing picturescapes of freedom for entertainment purposes only, if love could live in such a place where all five senses are suspicious, because visitation is just as much a financial opportunity as it is a chance to heal your loved one's wounded energy, I would say proceed. Though with caution, since the proceeds of your loved one's bid is a billionaire's stock option and hedge fund interest. Everything is monetized between those walls, especially dignity. Calls, messages and cards, pictures, even the gas you put in your car to secure a visit. Good thing there is no price on love, but it sure is expensive as a if it isn't love. Why do you feel this way, you ask? Like you would give your last just to have a fraction of the fairy tale you're mistaken for a plan. The deep rooted wound attraction to being told everything you needed to hear when your father failed to teach you that love does more than love says. The self inflicted reenactment of what it would feel like if a distant father stood instead of never coming back. They are your glorified healer, covered in barbed wire and messed up circumstance, a chance perhaps to give love to someone that appears to need love so bad they would never take it for granted if it passed. They are everything you need them to be in your wildest dreams, when dreams don't always come true.
Snap it up, folks. For Rosalia, snap it up, folks. Snap it up. Yes. Ooh, girl, you killing it tonight, girl. Yes.
Thank you, thank you.
Shoot. Okay, Rosalia, the next question I have for you. I'm going to let the audience. Okay, folks, what questions do you have for Rosalia out there? What questions do you have out there for Rosalia, folks? Come on. Think it up. Think it up, folks. Think it up. Think it up. And while I'm waiting for the audience to ask a question, I'm going to my October vibe. Let's see. Uh, hmm. How have you grown in the last 3 to 5 years?
I would say I have more of the tools that I need to make my dreams and what like to build what I want from, my gifts. I think like when we're younger and we're starting out, we have the fire, we have the desire, but I think that working hard and, becoming wiser, you kind of gain all of the tools that would have been helpful back then. So I would say I'm a lot wiser. I'm a lot more driven. I have a lot more resources. So I would say within the past few years, I've gotten more focused and serious about my gifts.
Okay. All right. The comments section we have Donna Banks said, "At what age did you start writing poetry?"
Ooh, that's a good one. Elementary. I had a little
Oh,
composition book I was I was spinning off of the roses are red, violets are blue, almost every page.
Uh, oh, Donna Banks said nice. Anybody have any questions for my co-host? Put it in the comments. Any questions? Come on, folks. Any questions for Poessence Spoken Word? My wonderful co-host.
I'm slightly nervous now. I wasn't prepared.
Come on,
when
folks.
you when you started writing in elementary school, and that's interesting because my daughter actually just had to do an assignment where she had to write, and she wrote. She made me cry. It's in her. But she wrote a poem, and I was just like, I don't remember writing as a kid, like having to actually like write a poem. I didn't start until it was like when I graduated, like literally the day after I graduated. And I mean, and I
Wow.
we did have to, I believe in middle school or high school, like I took a creative writing class. So I had to write a poem. And at that time, I didn't understand nor appreciate poetry because of what I was given, and it was like Shakespeare and stuff like that. And I'm like, who is walking around saying thee and all, like, please go somewhere. Thy window break. Like, what? You who? I didn't get it. I didn't understand it to embrace it for what it was. And I know that there were other poets out there, but what was being displayed and presented to me just had me confused. It was either that or it was like the everything rhyming together. So it was like, I don't know. And I remember like at that time I had a friend who she also took the creative writing class, and she had wrote a poem, and I mean I love her dearly, haven't spoken to her in years, but she had wrote this poem and it involved her being on a roller coaster in the rain. And I was just like, why is we in the rain on a roller coaster? You're gonna get pneumonia. Why is you writing about stuff like that? Like that's odd. That just didn't make sense to me. And when I remember we sat on the porch and she was just like, what do you hear? And I was like, I hear kids, I hear bells, I hear, the laughing kids playing. And we constructed a poem from that. And I vowed to never write like that again. It was just not. But that was like my introduction. But that was in, I want to say that was in high school. And that was like my very first like brush with like poetry experience. But when I graduated, it was like a switch like came on, and it was like, this is reality here. Um and unfortunately, I'm so upset to a degree because the very first poem I ever wrote was called Loving the Inner Me. And it was something I was talking to myself. I wrote and I cried. I read it and I cried. And that poem in itself was just understanding and learning that the society, the teenage society that I was in, that I felt so like held captive in, did not allow me to really embrace me, embrace my scars, embrace my journey, and feeling like an outsider in a world that was considered normal. So I was talking about me and talking about loving, and I always say that it's like it's loving the tree that you're in, right? Learning all your limbs and everything. So although I lost that poem because I've moved on in the journey, I do remember the context. I would never try to go back and rewrite it because clearly that was something that only I needed to read and I needed to embrace, because that's how I'm able to sit here today and be comfortable and be in crowds and be comfortable and no longer feel like the outsider. So yeah,
Donna
that
Banks. Oh,
oh,
sorry,
okay.
Poessence. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Okay, I'm nervous now. I'm nervous again.
Donna Banks said this question is for you and Rosalia. She says, what made you both want to start writing poetry? Good question, Donna.
That is a great question. Rosalia, you first.
I'm going to be completely honest. I found out I was good at it and people liked it. Um, and it caused me to become more interested because um I was young. I'm like, I'm not good at anything. I'm just a kid. And I kind of found my niche and I felt like this is, I love, like, I fell in love with poetry. I fell in love with writing. Um, and it became something that came natural to me that I didn't have to force.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
I guess I can't use your answer. Um, but no, I actually, like I said, after high school, I heard about like really Maya Angelou and I really admired her work. And I don't know, like one day it hit me and I wrote, and then after that it became, instead of writing in my diary about, whatever obnoxious thing was going on, I started to really embrace writing poetry and free range, free verse poetry where I could just write the silent words out loud.
Mhm.
And moving on to actually, getting on stage and sharing my work, that came with actually meeting someone who was like, hey, you're kind of pretty good at this. You should try this. You should share. And I'm like, have you lost your mind? And then I actually did it. And I was like, oh, so it's a group of people that lost their minds. Um, but I did it and I embraced it. I realized that in a world, in the world, in the society that I was growing up, that there were actually people that were similar to me, that sat and they prefer to write poetry than to talk to people, that they use how, their feelings to express in poetry what's going on and how they feel. Um, yeah. So now it's like, I got a name and I do this, and this is a place where I can feel comfortable and safe to talk about whatever. Just don't record some of it. Um, don't record some of it, but it's a place where I feel most comfortable to share my work. Yeah.
Okay. Back to the comments. Teresa Hazel Eyes said, good answer. And her next question, oh, wait a minute. Maurice Huff had a question. Have you worked with youth? Who's that question for, Maurice? Was it for Poessence or was it for Rosalia or both? And Teresa says, what's your favorite style of poetry and why? To both.
I'll go first. My favorite style is, you got free range turkeys, free range eggs. My poetry is free range. Okay. It don't always rhyme. It doesn't always have like a particular structure that they really focus on when they're teaching it. Um, but it works for me, and I like to write that way. As far as listening to other people, I don't even try to like narrow down exactly like their writing skill. I just know I like it when I hear it. I know that it touches something beyond the eardrum, and I enjoy listening to it. But my favorite style is free verse, free range. the one that I dislike the most, and I can't even remember what you call it. Right now, I got it doing haikus. Okay. Me and haikus do not go well together. I don't know. It's an art in itself. I want to learn, but I got too many words. It's like
Right.
a bunch of incomplete sentences and statements all at once. They make sense together, but I just don't have that. I don't have that style.
Okay. I hear that. And while we're talking about haikus and stuff, I want to shout out Genevieve, pal. Genevieve, where you at tonight? Genevieve, where you at tonight? Maybe you could take Genevieve's class, Poessence.
Listen, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna fail horribly, but it's so like the skill in itself. Like I admire anybody that can do a haiku.
Yeah.
It's not there. Like my thoughts and my statements are elongated essays and paragraphs. It's a novel.
Yeah, I too am not a haiku writer. I just, yes, not there for me. But yeah. And back to the comments. Donna Banks said, appreciate your answers. Thank you. And Teresa Hazel Eyes said, nice. So those were the comments. Oh, look at the time. It is almost time to go. Oh, where did the
Oh
time
my goodness.
go? We
Right.
over
Yes,
here being breezy, having a good time, and time is just flying. Rosalia, do you have how can people reach out to you if they want to purchase your book?
okay. I'm on lulu.com. Rosalia S. Rosabek. I know that's probably a mouthful. Rasebek Rosalias. But I'm on Lulu. The book is Princess from a Broken Home. I have another book on there that is like my private diary, and it's very expensive. So if you see that, don't be discouraged or afraid. Is that it's that much money because it's very private. And when I'm ready to release it to the world, I will drop the price. But um I have two new books coming out, which I want everybody to look out for. So if you follow me, The House That Sage Built on Instagram, you'll be able to stay tuned for the new work that is coming. And that includes the poems that were read tonight.
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay. And folks, um, oh, before I get to that, Poessence, how can people reach out to you?
Listen, I am on Facebook at the moment. Just type in Poessence Spoken Word. Uh, it's either 1981 or 81. I don't know. I don't even know who I am anymore. Um, um, that is how you can reach me. Same as Instagram and TikTok. I don't really do too much of social media. I should a little bit more. I think I'm gonna have to be highly inspired and just start going on TikTok and reading some of my work. I tend not to, um, because people will tend to gravitate to some of my more adult poetry. Um, but I think that I will definitely try to start putting myself out there a little bit more, being that I don't get a chance to go to any open mic spots here in the NC. They start at 11 and I'm seasoned. I'm sleep by 10:30.
Hey, listen,
Okay.
me too,
And
I
girl.
understand.
that's late. That's really late. I listen, I tried and I'm not knocking nobody. Listen, I tried. They at 11 o'clock. I'm like, I got a child. I gotta go to work. Um, mm-mm. Which is crazy because when we were younger, listen, it was like three spots hitting all at once, and we was like, listen, we gonna start at 9:30. By 12 o'clock, we going to the after hour spoken word spot, and we was wide awake, ready for it. Now I'm like, it started at what time?
Right.
On what day? Saturday. I'm off. Like this. But yes, you could reach me on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, Poessence Spoken Word. Once you type that in, you'll know it's me. And I will do better. I will do more at sharing my own work as well.
Okay. Rosalia, any shout outs you would like to give?
Yes, I'd like to shout out my daughter, Yamaya, who was very quiet in the next room, my granddaughter, Kahara,
Aw. Shout out to
and
the daughter and the granddaughter.
and everybody listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Miss Kier. Thank you,
You're welcome.
Mrs. Poessence,
You
for
will.
having me. I really enjoyed myself.
Yes, good time was had because we've been breezy over these parts.
Yes,
Poesis,
yes.
do you have any shout outs you'd like to give?
Well, my husband, of course, because he wrangled the children together. My daughter and my nephew, who were just being children in the background. They don't care. They don't care, but love them still. And and just everybody out there listening.
Everybody out there listening. And I like to give a shout out to everybody who is listening and everybody who will watch later on either tonight or during the rest of the weekend. Thank you again for tuning in. This is Tanisha Jacob, no S at the end, aka Mz.KIR, aka Topra, coming to you live via SBN, the Small Business Network, with Live with Mz.KIR. Thank you for joining us tonight on this Friday, December the 20th. Stay tuned next week for our special guest. You got to tune in to see who the guest is. And my co host for next week will be Damon Tillery. So show your love. We'll be back next week at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Standard, 8:05 Central Time. Okay. And I'm wishing you love, peace, hair grease, and edges because
Yeah,
edges matter. Don't let nobody tell you that
yes
edges
they do.
don't
Yes they do.
matter. Okay? Hashtag edges matter. Say it with me in the
Edges
comments.
matter. They need to know.
Edges
Yes.
matter. They matter. And again, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and be breezy. Peace.